Hi there, and welcome to our Roblox Scripting Level 3 course. If you are new to Roblox Studio or new to Roblox Scripting, we recommend that you start out with these courses first. Just go to our YouTube channel, PriceCP Roblox. On the home page, just page down, go to Roblox Studio and Scripting for Beginners, Comprehensive Roblox Studio Guides, and Featured Clips. Click on that. If you are not familiar with Roblox Studio, we recommend you start out with this first course, Learn Roblox Studio 2024 full course. Once you have familiarized yourself with Roblox Studio, you can move on and learn some scripting with our Roblox Scripting 2024 full course, where you learn all the basics of scripting inside Roblox Studio. After that, move on to Level 2 Scripting for more advanced scripting. And once you're done with Level 2 Scripting, come back to our Level 3 Scripting in Roblox Studio. Okay, so without further ado, let's now get to our Level 3 Scripting in Roblox. Here we are back inside Roblox Studio, and we're going to start out our Level 3 course with a lesson on how to detect when any player joins the game. So let's now go to our service script service. We're going to add a script. To detect when a player joins the game, we're going to use the player added event of the player's service. So first, let's declare our player service. We're going to say game.players. And now we're going to use the player added event to detect when a player joins the game. So we're going to say dot player added. We're going to connect to a function. And the player is automatically passed in. So the player that is being passed into this function is the player that just joined into the game. Here we can say print player dot name. And now let's play test and take a look. I have joined the game, and let me go to my view, open up the output window, and there it is. It printed price counter puncher has joined the game. And guys, that is how you detect when a player has joined the game. You can do anything you like once the player joins the game. Let's now learn how to create different objects with scripts. In your service script service, just go ahead and create a script, rename it to create objects. Now I'm going to start with a task wait of 3 seconds. To create an object, I'm going to declare a variable. So I'm going to say local part equal to instance.new. And this is how you create a new object. The object that I'm creating is a part. So I'm going to say new part. And then I'm going to need to place my part inside the workspace. So I'm going to say part.parent equal to workspace. Run test and take a look. Remember, we're giving it 3 seconds before it starts. So we're going to run. Nothing has happened yet. And in 3 seconds, you can see my part has been created by the script. Here we're creating the object and we're moving it to the workspace for it to appear inside your game. Instead of using another step to move it into the workspace, I could have done it this way. So I create an object and I ask the system to place it directly into the workspace. This one statement is going to be equivalent to the 2 prior statements, but we're doing it all in one step. Let's take a look. So give it 3 seconds, and the object has been created inside the workspace. Once you have your object inside the workspace, you can do anything you like with it. Same as you have learned before in our prior tutorials, you can make any changes to the object as you wish. For example, I'm going to say part.brick color equal to. Let me let the AI fill in the blanks for me. Let's see what it does. I'm going to accept. So it's changing the color of the part to bright red, the material to neon, and it's changing the size to 1111, and position is 5 studs above the base plate. It anchored the part and it turns off can't collide. Let's run test and take a look. So this code is from the AI, and there is the part hanging in the air. It's kind of tiny, so we can't really see it. Let me make a change to that so you can see it better. I made a couple of changes. I changed the color. so it's not so red, and I changed the material to cobblestone. I'm making it bigger, so the size now I'm giving it 10, 10, and 10 instead of 1, 1, and 1 from the AI, and I put it 10 stats above the base plate. Let's take a look. In 3 seconds, and there it is. That was the object that was created by the script. That's basically how you create a part using a script. Let's try and create a different object, see how it works. So here, I'm gonna insert these 3 lines. I'm gonna wait for 5 seconds before I create the new object. And the new object is gonna be an attachment. And I'm gonna put it inside the part. Again, I could have done it this way. Part. And then I can get rid of this second line here. So we're putting both lines into one. Let's run tests and take a look. So here we're gonna wait for 3 seconds for the part to be created. And if you look inside the part, there's nothing inside the part now, but in 5 seconds, now we have an attachment inside the part. The attachment is not gonna do anything right now, but in future tutorials, we're gonna learn how to use the attachment to attach different constraints to this part. Or if you want to get ahead of the course, you can go to our YouTube channel right now and look up the constraints playlist to learn all about constraints in Roblox. Now previously we have learned how to use the player added event to monitor for when a player joins the game. We can modify this right now, so whenever a player joins the game, we're gonna create a folder inside the player. So here we're gonna say local folder equal to, and let's see if the AI can figure it out. So the AI is giving us all this. I'm just gonna take it, but for now I'm gonna delete all these. So basically we're creating a folder and we want to put it inside the player, each player that joins the game. So here we gotta say player. All right, so we're creating a folder inside the player, and I'm gonna rename that folder. So I'm gonna say folder dot name. I'm gonna set it equal to my folder. Let's now play test and take a look. So, whoa, the block is spawning in right on top of me. But anyway, I'm gonna go to the player service, expand the player. You can see my folder has been created inside every player that joins the game. In this case, I'm the only player in this game. But if there are other players in the game, each one of us would have the same my folder under the player. Next, how about we add in something to keep track of the player's scores? So I'm going to declare local score equal to instance dot new, and the score is going to be an integer value. We're going to put that inside the player that joins the game. I'm now going to rename that new object to score. So I'm going to say score dot name equal to score. And how about we're giving each player 1 point for each second they are inside the game. So we're gonna say while task weight of 1 do, and the AI has suggested this, I'm just gonna accept it. So we're gonna change the value of our score to score plus 1, or you could have just done it this way, plus equal to 1. Right, so for every second the player is inside the game, the player is gonna get 1 point, 1 additional point. How about we go to test, and we're gonna play test with 2 players this time. Right, so this here, I'm gonna expand the player service. I see player 1 and player 2 in here, right? So if I click on player 1, actually expand player 1, you see there's a score underneath every player. So player 1 has a score, player 2 has a score. And look at players 1 score, the value is going up by 1 for every second the player is in the game. Same with player 2. Check out the score, it's going up by 1 for every second. the players inside the game. Now we can switch to the other player's view. So this is players 1 view, right? We're gonna switch over to this side and it should be the same. So here we have player 1 and player 2. And check out the score. It's still going up. Same with players 2. The score is going up. Once you're all done, just click on Clean Up. Let's now learn how to create a leaderboard in Roblox. We're gonna go to our service script service. We're gonna add a script. You can name your script leaderboard, and in your script, just enter the following lines. On the first line, we have a player added event. For every player that joins the game, we're gonna insert a folder named leaderstats under the player. So here we're creating the folder. For more information on how to create objects and about player added events, you can refer to our prior tutorials for more details. So again, every player that joins the game, we're going to insert a folder named leaderstats under the player with all lowercase letters. If you spell it differently, it's not going to work. Alright, so now we have a folder under every player that joins the game. Here we're creating an integer value inside the folder and we name it score. This is going to be our column inside the leaderboard. We're giving the player 1 point for every second the player is inside the game. Let's play test and take a look. So here we are, and you can see I have a leaderboard here and I'm getting 1 point for every second I'm inside the game. Let's now test with 2 players. You can see we have 2 players inside the game and we both getting 1 point for every second we are inside the game. Let's now learn what is the difference between a player and a character. And then we're going to learn how to get the player from a character and how to get a character from a player. So first, I'm going to show you what is the difference between a player and a character. Let's play test and take a look. So as you are inside the game, to find your player, you're going to go inside the player service and you should find all the players inside the player service. This is my player right here, Price Counter Puncher. Now to find the character on the other hand, you're going to go to the workspace, expand that, and you should find your character and all the other players' character inside the workspace. Here is my character inside the workspace. And those are the differences between a player and a character. Now let's learn how to get a character from a player. So let's play test again and take a look. As I play the game, we're going to go into the player service, click on my player, and you should see a property called character. And here it is, character. So this here is my character, and that is how you get a character from a player. Let's go and take a look at the script that uses this. Inside the service script service, we have a script called leaderboard. And in your script, just enter the following lines. These here are from our prior tutorial. We're creating the leaderboard. And I have added these lines here. So we're waiting for 7 seconds. Remember, the character is just a property of the player. So it's the character property of the player. And that is how I get the character, because I have the player passing in over here. So from the player, I can get the character. And once I have the character, I can change the character's property. Right here, I'm changing the jump power of the humanoid object inside the character. And I'm giving it 200. The default is 50, so 200 should give my character 4 times the jump power. It's going to be able to jump 4 times higher. Let's play test now and take a look. So remember, we're giving it 7 seconds. So right now I can jump only this much, but in 7 seconds, you can see how much higher I can jump. And that is the benefit of being able to get the character from the player. Next, we're going to look at how to get the player from the character. To see an example of this, we're going to go to our create object script. So basically these lines were from our prior tutorial. You can refer to the prior tutorial for more details. These lines here, we're just creating a part. And I have added a touch event to the part down here. So these are just routine stuff. We're checking to see if it's a humanoid that is touching the part. And here is where we're getting the player from the character. Because remember, when somebody touches the part, we're passing in the other part, which is the part that is touching this part, right? And from that, other part.parent is going to give you the character. That is, if it is a player's character that is touching this part, then other part.parent is going to give you the character. From that character, I'm using this API, get player from character, and this is available from the player service. I'm using that API to give me the player that owns that character. Once I have found the player that owns that character, I'm going to look for an object under the player named touches. If I do not see that object named touches under the player, I'm going to create it by using the instance.new to create a new integer value under the player, and I'm going to name it touches. Alright, so if the object named touches doesn't exist, we're going to create it, and then we're going to add 1 to it. Otherwise, if it exists already, right, we're not going to do this. We're just going to go down here and add 1 to the object named touches. Again, this here is how you get the player from the character. And now let's play test and take a look. So I'm waiting for that block. Now, first thing I want to show you is I'm going to go to my player, expand the player. Right now, it does not have an object named touches under the player, right? But as soon as I go and touch this block, and remember, we do not have a debouncing to that touch event. So I just need to touch it, and immediately you see touches has been created by the script. And if we look inside touches, you can see I got 40 touches. I'm gonna try and touch it again. You see how fast it goes up? Now I got 121 touches. Let me see if I can jump on top of it. Whoa, I forgot my jump power is so strong. And there it is. It increases, but not by a lot. Because when I stop, then it stopped counting the touches. And there it is. It's very important to know the difference between a player and a character. And also, two very important things to know is how to get a player from a character and how to get a character from a player. Before we continue, I just want to remind you to take this opportunity to click that subscribe button under the video so you don't lose touch with our channel in the future. And click that bell icon so you can be notified of new tutorials that are posted in the future. And if you like this tutorial, please do share it with your friends. Leave us a comment under the video. We love to see your comments. Let's now learn how to score and display points on leaderboards. So here first I want to show you the script to our leaderboard. For more information about the script, you can refer to our prior tutorial on leaderboard. Now let's take a look at how we can score points and how to display the points on our leaderboard. Here we have a script to create an object. This is also from our prior tutorial on how to create different objects in Roblox. The code I have added is down here. We have added a touch event to this part that we're creating up here. Basically, it's going to take 3 seconds before this part is created, before it appears in the workspace, and the part has a touch event. Here we're checking that is a humanoid that is touching the part. This is our debouncing variable. And to put the points on the leaderboard, we need to get the player. So we're getting the player from the character. This is our character. So this here is going to return the player. We learned this in our prior tutorial. So player here is the player that controls the character. And to get to the leaderboard, we just have to follow this path. So it's player.leaderstats.score. Score is our score column in the leaderboard. And we're just adding 1 to that column. We're gonna give it 1 second, and we're gonna reset the debouncing variable. So now the part can be touched again. How about we play test with 2 players? Right, so here we are. I believe this is player number 2 on this side. I'm gonna start with player number 2, and player number 2 got some points. He has 5 points. And now I'm gonna go to player number 1. Player number 1 now has 0 points. He's gonna score some points. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Player number 1 has 10 points. Going back to player number 2. Player number 2 is gonna score some more points. And that is how you score points and display them on the leaderboard in Roblox. Similar to a player added event, a character added event catches when a character joins the game or spawn into the game or respawn into the game. So here we have a player added event. Now inside this function, we're gonna add a character added event. We're gonna use the player that is being passed into the function dot character added connect to a function, and in this case the character that spawns into the game is automatically passed in. How about we use this to make every character in the game walk a little faster? So for every character that spawns into the game, we're going to change the character humanoid walk speed. Regular walk speed is 16, we're going to change it to 50, and that should make every player in the game walk a little faster. Let's play test now and take a look. I'm in the game, and look at how fast I run. And that is how you use the character added event. How about we're going to use a script now to change a player's head size. So in your service script service, just enter a script. In your script, just enter the following lines. On the first line, we have a player added event. Next line, we have a character added event. For more information on those two, you can refer to our prior tutorials. Here, we're waiting for 8 seconds. Now, inside every character inside the game, there is a humanoid object. Inside every humanoid object, there is an object called head scale. It is just an integer number, and the default is 1. If we change it to 5 here, the size of the head of the characters in this game are going to be 5 times larger than the normal size. Let's now play and take a look. Again, we're going to give it 8 seconds before the head size changes. So when I spawn in, you see I have a regular head size here, and give it 8 seconds. Whoa, look how big my head is now. I got a gigantic head. Let's now look at how to make a slender character in your game. We're going to go to our service script service. We're going to add a script. Inside your script, just enter the following lines. Again, here we have a player added event, a character added event, and we're waiting for 8 seconds before we change the character into a slender character. Basically, we're just using the body height scale to make the character taller. And when the character is taller, then the character is going to look to be thinner. The default body height scale is around 1. We're changing the value to 5. So the character is going to be 5 times taller after 8 seconds. Let's now play test and take a look. So give it 8 seconds. And you see this is my normal character. In 8 seconds, I become a slender character. We're now going to summarize all the different properties of humanoid inside Roblox. So to demonstrate this, I'm just going to play test. And I'm going to go to the workspace, expand the workspace, and I look for my character. I'm going to expand my character. I'm going to look for the humanoid object, expand that. And here you see we have all the different properties of the humanoid object here that you can change to modify the characters inside your games. Let's take, for example, we did this before. We changed the head scale property to make the head of the characters in our game larger. We also changed the body height scale to turn our character into a slender character. Here you have the body depth scale and the body width scale if you want to change the width or the depth of your character. So those are the different objects that you can adjust to change the size of your character. Other than that, if you click on the humanoid object and you go to the properties window, you have all these other things that you can adjust. Let's take, for example, we did this before. We changed the walk speed. The default is 16. If you make it 50, then your character will run really fast. To wrap this up, why don't we change the body width scale, and we're going to see how the character is going to look like after that's changed. We're going to go back to Studio now, and in your script, just enter the following lines. So basically, we're changing the body width scale from the default is 1, we're going to change it to 5, and that's going to make our character really wide. Let's now play test and take a look. We're going to give it 8 seconds. And look how wide my character is. Let's now take a look at how to use text labels in Roblox. So basically, to add a text label, first you need to have something like a canvas, an area where you're going to place the label on. So let's now go to our home menu tab, and we're going to click on the UI button to add a screen GUI. A screen GUI has been added to the started GUI. You could have done the same thing by going directly to your started GUI, click on the plus sign, and select screen GUI, or if you don't see it, you can search for it and select screen GUI. Alright, so now I have two different screen GUIs here. I'm just going to delete one because we only need one in this case. Basically, my screen GUI is going to cover my entire screen, and that is where I'm going to place my text label on. So I'm going to select my screen GUI here. I could either click on the plus sign and select a text label here, or I can just go up here and click on text label. A text label has been added to my screen GUI. I can now place this label anywhere I want. How about I place it down here? You can resize your label. And you can go to the properties window to change the label's property. For example, you can change the background color to red, background transparency. Oh, let me click OK here first. Background transparency, change it to 1, make it disappear. So it's see-through now. If I pick 0.5, 0.5 is see-through, but it still has the color. Let me change it back to 0. And scroll down a little bit. Here you have the position that you can use to change the position of the label, or you can just drag it and place it wherever you want. The size, you can change it from here to, or you can just pull these corners to change the size of your labels. Now this is very important, visible. With this being false, you're not going to see the label. So in scripting, you can turn off your label by changing this property to false. And when you want to see your label, you can change the visible property to true to display your label on the screen. Going down a little further, here you have the text property, so you can put whatever message you want to say in here. For example, hello. And you can see my label, the text is very small. If you like it to be bigger, you can check this box here, text scale, and it fits the window nicely. Text color, you can change the color of your text. For example, I'm going to change it to white. Click OK. Now this one here, I like to use a lot, text stroke color. So you can put an outline on your text. For example, I'm going to put yellow. Click OK. And when you're using that, you got to remember to turn off the transparency here, to set it to 0. And now you see that the text has a little outline over the text. And that is going to help make your text visible in any background, whether you're over a light background or a dark background. But in this case, it doesn't matter because I have a background color. But in case you do not want to see a background color, so for example, if I go here and I turn off my background transparency, make it 1, you can see the text stroke makes it visible, more visible over any background. All right, and now if we go and play the game, you're gonna see that text label at the corner. Again, with the visible property, you can turn on and off this label, so you can display it whenever you want inside your game. And guys, that is how you use text labels in Roblox. For more details on text labels, you can come to our channel, PriceCP Roblox, and scroll down to the section where it says How To Series. You can scroll to the right, and here we have Roblox User Interfaces, UIs and GUIs. Just click on View Full Playlist. And here you will find all the tutorials on text labels, Surface GUI, and much, much more. Let's now learn how to place a text label on a part. Right here I have a red part. I want to place a text label on this part. So I'm going to select my part. I'm going to go to my part and I'm going to add a surface GUI. Selecting the surface GUI, I'm going to add a text label. So my text label is going to be placed on the surface GUI. Right now I don't see my label, and that is because my label is being placed on a different surface of this part. So what I want to do is I want to select the surface GUI, go to the properties window. I want to look for a property called face. Currently it's facing the front of this part. I want it to face the back. And immediately now I see my label because currently I'm facing the back. I'm now going to select my text label and go to the properties window. I want this label to fill the entire face of this cube. I'm going to go to the size property and I'm going to change this to, let's expand it. I want to change the X and Y scale to 1. The rest is going to be 0. So I'm going to say 1, 0, 1, 0. Hit enter. My label now covers the entire face of this part. Let's scroll down a little bit. We're going to change the text size, pretty much the same as our prior tutorial on text label. You can change the text size. You can change the text, first of all, to, let's say, hello. And you can change the text size by selecting the box here, text scale. I'm also going to change the text color to white. Text stroke color, I'm going to make it yellow. Text stroke transparency, change it to 0. And now we're going to go and change the background transparency of this label to 1. And there it is. We have placed a text label on the part. Let's play test and take a look. I'm going to run around this cube. And check that out. There is a message on the wall. It says hello. In Roblox, you can use a Billboard GUI to place a tag over an object inside your game. For those of you who have used a Surface GUI before, a Billboard GUI is very similar to the Surface GUI. Difference is with a Billboard GUI, you can see the label, the tag, from any angle inside the game. As opposed to a Surface GUI, you gotta be like right in front of the surface to be able to see the tag. To show you the similarity between the two, here I have added 2 blocks to my game. One is blue, one is red. And now with the blue block, I'm going to go to the blue block. I'm going to add a surface GUI. And now I'm going to go to the surface GUI. I'm going to add a text label. So you can see my text label on the cube. On the other hand, with my red block here, I'm going to add a Billboard GUI. And I'm also going to go to my Billboard GUI. I'm going to add a text label. This one, you see a label on the surface of the object. And this one, you see a label somewhere in the middle of the object. Let me rename this so we know which one is which. The red brick is gonna be the kill brick. And I'm gonna rename this Billboard GUI to kill tag. Currently the label inside my Billboard GUI is not displayed. So what I want to do is I want to select my kill tag and go to the properties window and check the box that says always on top. And now we can see the label. Now if I move really far from the object, I can still see the label. And if I move closer, I can still see the label. What I want to do is I want to go down to the properties of the Billboard GUI. And I want to change the max distance. So instead of infinity, I want to change it to 80. So if I go far enough from this object, the tag is going to disappear. You see, it's gone now. If I come closer, you can see it again. Let's select the kill tag and we're going to resize it. So we're going to go to the size property. The tag is a little bit too big, so I'm going to change it to 2, 0, 1, 0. Make it a little bit smaller. Basically, I'm changing the scale property of the X and Y, X to 2, X scale to 2, and Y scale to 1. The offset are set to zeros. I want to place this label a little bit higher than my part, so I'm going to go to the stud offset and I'm going to change the Y position of that to 2. That's going to place it 2 studs higher than my part. Next thing we want to do is we want to go to our text label and we want to fit it inside this Billboard GUI. So we're going to change the size of that text label to 1, 0, 1, 0. We're changing the X and Y scale to 1. That makes the label fits perfectly inside the Billboard GUI. We can do the same with the surface GUI. So I'm going to click on the text label of the surface GUI and change the size to 1, 0, 1, 0. That fits perfectly on the side of the surface GUI. Going back to the text label inside the Billboard GUI, we're going to change the background transparency to 1, change the text to kill brick, text color to white, check the box that says text scale. We want to change the text stroke color to yellow. And set the text stroke transparency to 0. This is going to help make your text more visible in any background, whether it's a light background or dark background. And that is it. That is how you use a Billboard GUI to place a tag over an object in Roblox. The next thing we need to do here is we're just going to go to our kill brick and we're going to add a script. This is the script to turn this part into a kill brick. Let's now play test and take a look. So I'm going to look for those 2 parts. You can see that with the surface GUI, I have to be in front of it to see the text label. But with the Billboard GUI, I can run all over or all around. I can see the kill brick tag from any angle. And if I go and touch that part, I'm dead. For more information on surface GUI and text labels, you can come to our channel, PriceCP Roblox. Scroll down to the section where it says How To Series, click on View All, and search for a playlist called Roblox User Interfaces. Click on View Full Playlist. In this playlist, you will find information about text labels, surface GUIs, and much more. Let's now learn how to add a VIP tag over VIP players in our game. To start, the steps are exactly the same as the steps in our prior tutorial on how to add a tag over an object. So basically we're going to start with an object and then we're going to add a Billboard GUI over it, rename it to, instead of kill tag, we're going to rename this Billboard GUI to VIP tag. And then we added a text label to the Billboard GUI, change the always on top property to true, the max distance to 80, billboard size to 2, 0, 1, 0. I'm gonna make that size a little larger now. So instead of 2, 0, 1, 0, I'm gonna change this to 4, 0, 2, 0. That's gonna make the tag a little larger. We changed the Y component of the stud offset to 2, and we resized the text label to fit into the Billboard GUI by changing the size of the text label to 1, 0, 1, 0. We changed the background transparency of the text label to 1, text color to white, and we're gonna change the text of our text label. Instead of kill brick, we're gonna change it to VIP tag, or VIP. Set text scale to true, text stroke color to yellow, text stroke transparency to 0. And that's gonna make our label visible over any background, dark background and light background. So that was just a quick review of how to create the Billboard GUI with the text label in it. If you want more details, just refer to our prior tutorial for more details. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna move this to our server storage. So we're gonna select the Billboard GUI. We're gonna go to the parent property. And here, instead of the parent is the kill brick, I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna go and select server storage. So we're placing it inside the server storage. There is our VIP tag inside the server storage. We can now go ahead and delete this part. We no longer need this part. And now we're going to go to the server script service. We're going to add a script. Our script is going to put that tag over our VIP players. In this case, I'm just going to make myself a VIP player. So in your script, just enter the following lines. On the first line here, I'm declaring my VIP tag inside the server storage. Next line here is my user ID. Again, to get the user ID, you can just play test and go to your player service, look for your player, select your player. In the properties window, look for user ID, just copy this number here. And then you can stop this here and go back to the script and just paste it in. So that is your user ID. This script is going to make you the VIP of the game. Next, here we have a player added event followed by a character added event. For more information on player added event and character added event, you can refer to our prior tutorials. Once I got the character that is spawning into the game, I'm waiting for the character's head to be ready. Once the head is found, I'm checking the player user ID. If it's my own player user ID up here, then I'm gonna place the tag, the VIP tag, over the head of the player. To do that, I must get the humanoid of the character, because with the humanoid of the character, I can set this property, display distance type, to none, and it's not gonna display my name over my character, because now I'm gonna have a VIP tag over my character. If I don't turn this off, then I'm gonna have both. I'm gonna have a name tag, it's gonna say price counterpuncher, and a VIP tag overlapping each other. On the next line here, we're making a copy of our VIP tag from the server storage, and then we set the parent to the head of my character. That's gonna place that tag over the head of my character. And that is all there is to it. Down here are just the code for inserting the leaderboard. So if you want, you can insert this code here, these 4 lines, to create the leaderboard. Otherwise, you don't need it. Let's see if this is gonna work. We're gonna play test and take a look. And there it is. You see, now we have the VIP tag, and if I'm far enough from the player, the tag disappears. So remember, we set the max distance to 80, and that's what makes it disappear. Now if I go closer to the player, I can see the VIP tag again. Next, how about we change the script? Instead of adding the tag to the VIP player, we're gonna add a name tag to all players. So now we no longer need the VIP player. And this one, I'm gonna leave it as VIP tag, but you can rename it to name tag if you like. If you rename it, you gotta rename this, and this one from inside the server storage. For now, I'm just gonna leave it as VIP tag, but we're gonna put a name tag on all players. So we're still gonna have the player added, character added. We're still gonna check for the head of the player, but we no longer need to check the user ID of the VIP player, because now every player is VIP. Once the head is there, we're going to go to the humanoid property of the character, and we're going to remove that name over the character by setting the display distance type to none. Here we're cloning the tag from inside our server storage, and we place it on top of the player's head. Again, this part here is for the leaderboard. If you don't need a leaderboard, you can remove those code. Otherwise, that is the code for your leaderboard. And one more thing we want to do here is we want to display the name of the player. So we're going to insert this line. We're changing the text label text to the player name. And now let's play test and take a look. And there it is. As you can see, I have joined the game and it's showing price count to puncher over my character. Now if we play test with 2 players on Roblox, you can see I have joined the game. I'm price count to puncher, and Test Skill has also joined me, and you can see his name tag over his head. Guys, that is how you place name tags over players inside your games. Take for example our new game here, Pebble Heaven: The Next Chapter. If you go to this page, the game page, and if you scroll down, you're gonna see that this game has 3 different batches. The first batch, Novice, is rewarded to players who joins the game. The second batch here, the Star Bubbler, is awarded to players who have completed the first level of the game. The next batch here, the Superstar batch, is awarded to players who have completed the first and second level of the game. Let's now learn how to create a batch for your game. To create a batch for your game, first we're going to go to create.roblox.com. It is the Roblox Creator Hub. Once you're on this page, click on Creations. So right here is our new game, Pebble Heaven: The Next Chapter. It already has 3 batches in that game. I'm going to create the batch for this other game, Testing the Next Chapter. And by the way, if you're wondering, it is this game here, Test the Next Chapter. This is where we do all the testing of all the new stuff. And once we confirm that everything is working perfectly, that is the time when we move those things to this other game, Pebble Heaven: The Next Chapter, for people to enjoy. Alright, so now let's go back to Testing the Next Chapter. This is where I'm going to create a new batch to award to everyone who joins the game. To create a batch for this game, I'm going to go over here. You see the 3 dots. I'm going to click on the 3 dots and I'm going to select Create Batch. On this next screen, I'm going to click on Upload Image. You can see here I have selected an image. I have entered a name for this batch and I have entered a description for this batch. Now if you scroll down, you should see a button, Create Batch. Click on that. And it is all done. Let's now go to the game to see if we can see that batch for this game. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots and I'm going to view on Roblox. Now this is the game. Now if I'm going to page down, and you can see the batch is right here. So it's being processed. Once it's done, you should see the batch there. I think it's still waiting for moderation from Roblox before it becomes available. Anyway, once the batch is approved, then you should see something similar to this. Like if you go to your game and you page down, you should see your batch here with the name of the batch and the description of the batch. If your game has 3 batches, you should see 1, 2, 3 batches. But again, it may take some time for Roblox to process it. Anyway, so now we're going to go to Roblox Studio and we're going to look at how to put in a script to award this batch to everyone that joins the game. Here we are inside Roblox Studio. You can go ahead and go to the server script service and insert a script. Inside that script, you can insert the following lines. On the first line here, I'm declaring the batch service, where I'm going to use its API to award batches to players. Here we have a player added event, so it's going to do this for every player that joins the game. For every player that joins the game, we're going to give it 10 seconds before we award the badge to that player. To award the badge to the player, all you have to do is use this API of the badge service. The API is award badge, and this one comes with two parameters. The first parameter is the player user ID. Basically, the player is being passed in automatically when the player joins the game. So we're using the player user ID as the first parameter, and the second parameter is the badge ID. To get the badge ID, what you want to do is go back to your badge. So now I'm back inside the Creator Hub. I'm going to click on this game, testing the next chapter. And I'm going to look for badges here. I'm going to select badges. And there is my badge that I have uploaded, that I've created earlier. Now if you hover your mouse cursor somewhere at the top right corner of this badge, you should see 3 dots. Just click on that and click on Copy Asset ID. In case you couldn't find the 3 dots, you can also click on the badge and copy this long number here. That is the badge ID. Once you have copied the badge ID, just go back to the script. And you want to go over here and paste in that badge ID that you have just copied. So basically, when the player joins the game, it's going to kick off this PlayerAdded event. It's going to wait for 10 seconds, and it's going to award this badge to that player that joins the game. Let's now play test and take a look. So I'm joining the game and give it 10 seconds. And I should get a badge.
I like turtles.
And there it is. I've been awarded a badge for joining this game. And now let's go and verify to make sure that I have received a brand new badge for playing that game. So I'm going to go to my profile and I'm going to scroll down. And here you see it. Test Pebble. This is my brand new badge for joining the test game. And that is how you award badges to players who joins your game. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to make a high jump potion. So you can see here, I have a mesh part, a bottle. And if you have a bottle, you can use a bottle, or you can just use a regular part, would work fine as well. All you have to do is go to your part or your potion bottle and add a script. And here's my script. In your script, just enter the following lines. Here I'm declaring my part, and I have a touch event to this part. Whenever the part is touched, it's going to call this function. In my function, first I want to check to make sure that it is a player that is touching this part. If it is a player that is touching the part, I'm going to destroy the part, get rid of the part, and then I'm going to give the player 200 jump power. The default jump power is 50, so 200 is going to make the player jump very high. Let's now play test and take a look. So there you see, that is my high jump potion bottle. And now if I just jump now, this is how high I can jump. And I want to show you one more thing. If I expand the workspace, expand my player, click on the humanoid object of my player, and go to the properties window, you can see that my jump power is now currently 50. Now I'm going to go and take that potion bottle, and my jump power goes to 200, and look how high I can jump. You can see inside my game I have a leaderboard, and every time I touch this part right here, I get a point for touching this part. So now I have 11 points. But look what happened when I die. When I touch this red box here, it kills me, but it doesn't reset my score. So my score is still 11, and now it's still going up. My score was not reset back to 0 when I die. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn how to reset the score, the player score, when the player dies. And we're going to learn how to use the character humanoid die event in Roblox. In your game, just go to the service script service and insert a script. And in your script, just enter the following lines. Here we have a player added event. And we're creating the leaderboard for every player that joins the game. And here we have a character added event. Inside the character added event, we have the character humanoid died event. So whenever the character dies, it's gonna fire this character humanoid died event, and it's gonna execute whatever code you have inside this function. In this case, we want to reset the player's score back to 0 every time the character dies. Now play test and take a look. So remember before, when the player dies, the score was not reset back to 0. So now I'm gonna go and score some points here. I got 4 points, but now if I happen to die inside the game, you can see my score here has been reset back to 0. We're gonna learn how to use the player removing event in Roblox. Let's now go to our service script service. We're gonna add a script. For this tutorial, we're gonna be focusing on this part of the code here. It is the player removing event. So when the player leaves the game, it's gonna kick off this event, it's gonna fire this event, and it's gonna pass in the player that leaves the game automatically. You can use this event to watch, to listen for when the player leaves the game, and you can do whatever you want when the player leaves the game. In this case, we're just gonna print out the player's name that has left the game. Let me now go and open up my output window, and let's play test and take a look. So here I am inside the game, and I can go and score points. I score some points. If I die, the score is just gonna be reset back to 0, but nothing has happened yet because I'm still inside the game. It won't be until when I leave the game. So now I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna say leave. I have left the game, and you can see it fired the player removing event, and I printed this message here. Well, the game printed the message. Price counterpuncher has left the game. We're gonna learn how to make an awesome looking health bar, similar to the one you see inside Pebble Heaven, the next chapter. Let's now play test, and I can show you the health bar. You can see right here, I have a health bar in the lower left corner of my screen. And right now it's at 99%, so I have 99% health. And you can see the color is green when I have a lot of health, and it shows you the percentage of how much health I have left. If I go and eat some food here, I should be gaining my health. So now I'm back to 100%. But if I get hit by these creatures, they take away my health, so I'm at 38% now. And you can see it changes color. So right now I'm almost out of health, so the color changes to yellow, kind of similar to the Roblox health bar here, but the Roblox health bar does not have the percentage. This health bar here has the percentage. And let's see if I can get hit more to see what happened, but I don't want to die yet. You see now it goes to 20, and you can see it turns red, the same as the Roblox health bar up here, but this one again comes with the percentage of how much health I have left. And if I die, it goes to 0. And when my character respawns, I get 100% health again. Again, if you play Pebble Heaven the next chapter, you gotta know that you need to eat food to gain your health back. Otherwise, you would lose your health over time. So now I go and eat food, and my health is back to 100%. Alright, so in this tutorial, we're gonna learn how to make this beautiful looking health bar that changes color and tells you exactly how many percent health you have left. And by the way, I will include the link to this game in the description of the video in case you want to check it out, in case you want to play Pebble Heaven the next chapter. It's a very fun game. Come check it out. Alright, so here we are inside Roblox Studio, and we're going to learn how to make this health bar here. So basically, you're going to go to your starters GUI. You're going to add a screen GUI, or you can go up here to the menu and click on the UI button under the home menu tab. Once you click on that, click on screen GUI. That's going to create a screen GUI, and you can rename it to health GUI. So this is my screen GUI that I've created. Inside your screen GUI, you're going to create a frame. So you're going to add a frame to your screen GUI. And inside the frame, you're gonna add a text label. In case you want more information on how to do all that, you can come to our channel, TryCP Roblox, and scroll down, go to the How To series, click on View All, and you want to look for Roblox User Interfaces, UIs, and GUIs. Click on View Full Playlist. In this playlist, you can learn everything you need to know about text labels, Surface GUI, and all other stuff related to Roblox user interfaces. Back to our game, so again we have added a screen GUI, we have added a frame to the screen GUI, and we have added a text label to that frame. One thing to keep in mind here is in your screen GUI, you want to make sure you check this box here, reset on spawn. I believe that is the default, but just make sure it is checked. And now going to your text label inside the frame, click on the text label. You can change the background transparency of this text label. This text label is going to be your health bar. So if you like it to be a little bit transparent so you can see through it, you can see whatever behind this health bar, you can set this background transparency here. You can set the color here if you like, but it doesn't matter because our script is going to change all that. Now going down to the position, it should be all zeros. I believe that is the default, so there's nothing you need to do there. But the size, you need to change it to 1, 0, 1, 0. That's going to fill the entire frame with your text label. You can go down to the text property and enter whatever you like in there. I put 100% in there, but it really doesn't matter because the script is going to change all that as well. Okay, so we're done with the screen GUI, the frame, and the text label. Now inside your text label, you're going to add a local script. In your local script, you're going to enter the following lines. On the first line here, we're declaring the health bar. The health bar is our text label. Here we're getting the player, we're getting the character, and we're getting the humanoid. This is the humanoid max health. The default is usually 100. And then we're going to skip down all the way to here. So here we're calling this function. Let's see what it does. First thing, it's getting the current health of the humanoid. This next line here, basically it's just going to return the current health percentage remaining. And we're getting that by using the current health over the max health. Now in case that number is a negative number, then we're using this math function to make it a 0 if it's a negative number, or if it goes above 1, then it's going to return 1. Now the way this is going to work is we're going to resize our text label. So here is our text label size. We're resizing it to the percentage remaining health. So for example, we start out with 100, right? So the text label is going to take up 100% of the frame, but when we only have 50% health left, we're going to resize it. We're going to resize the text label to 50% of the frame, and that's going to bring it down to here. So basically, the text label is going to get smaller and smaller as you lose health, and as it shrinks, you're going to see the background, which is the frame. So you're going to see part of the frame as part of your health bar. This entire block of script here is basically just to change the color of the health bar. So if your health is above 50, then we're gonna give it a green color. It's green. If your health is above 25, we're gonna give it a yellow color. Otherwise, we're gonna give it a red color. Again, this entire block here is just to change the color of your health bar. And here we're updating the percentage remaining in the health bar, which is changing the text of our text label to update the percentage of health remaining. When the player first joins into the game, we're gonna call this function one time, and that's it. It's gonna do all this. Basically, it's gonna set the health to 100. You're gonna see a green bar, a full green bar with 100%. Now, as the player's health changes, it's gonna fire this get property change signal, and it's gonna connect to this function. It is the same function that we used when we first came in, when the player first joined into the game. And that is all there is to it. Let's now play test and take a look. So here we are, we're inside the game, we're at 100% health. And now I'm 99% health, back to 100%, 99. Now I'm at 84%, 54, and I'm dead. I spawned back in, and I'm back to 100% health. In this tutorial, we're gonna learn how to make a game pass. Let's get started by going to the Creator Hub. The address is create.roblox.com. When you get to this page, click on Creations. This is where you see all your creations. You can select which experience you want to make the game pass for. In this case, I'm just going to make the game pass for this game right here, Test 021. So I'm going to click on Test 021. On the left side menu bar here, look for Passes and click on Passes. Currently, this game does not contain any game pass, so I'm gonna create a pass. Click on Create a Pass. Image upload is optional, so you can leave it alone, or you can click Change here. If you have an image for your game pass that you want to upload, click Change and upload the image for this game pass. Next, we're gonna scroll down. We're gonna enter the name for this game pass, Invincibility Pass, and the description to make you invincible. Scroll down a little bit more. I'm gonna click on Create Pass. I have created a game pass for this game. Now just go ahead and click on this new pass that we have just created. On the left hand side here, you have two different options. So the first option that we are on is the basic setting. You have your icon here if you want to upload an image for. You have the name of the game pass, and you have the description of the game pass. In case you want to change them, you can change them and click on Save Changes. The second option here is the sales option. Click on that. Here you can indicate if this item is for sale. So I'm gonna click on Item for Sale. The price is invalid. How about we put in 1 Robux? And now it's happy. Now remember, the creator is gonna earn only 70% of this number. So if I price it at 1 Robux, means I'm gonna earn 0.7 of a Robux. So I don't want that. So why don't we make it 10 Robux? This way I'm gonna earn 7 Robux out of this transaction when people buy this game pass. And it says right here, it says how much you're gonna earn. So basically I'm gonna earn 7 Robux. Roblox is gonna take 3 Robux from me. Every time somebody buys a pass from me, Roblox is gonna keep 30% and I'm gonna earn 70%. So now let's go ahead and save changes. Pass updated successfully. So we have successfully created a game pass and put it up for sale. Alright guys, as we have promised you at the end of our last tutorial, today we're gonna show you how to earn Robux from your games. We're gonna show you how to script game passes inside your game. So as you can see, I'm inside this game right now. And there is a potion. Oh, somebody just joined me. So there's a potion bottle here, and that is an invincibility potion bottle. So if I take it, I'm gonna become invincible if I buy the game pass. So I'm gonna go and buy the game pass now. And you see there is an error. You already own this item. Your account has not been charged. So since I already have this game pass, it's not gonna let me buy another game pass since I already have this game pass. But now let's say if Testskill is gonna go and buy the game pass, and I'm not sure where my friend Brishan is, but anyway, so let's see if Testskill gonna go buy this game pass, and let's see what happens. I hope Brishan is not gonna buy the game pass, otherwise he would be donating Robux to me and I would be earning Robux. Testskill is now gonna go and buy the game pass, and let's see what happens. Oh, I see the message. It says invincibility pass, but this is on test skill screen, so you're not gonna see it on my screen, but on his screen it says invincibility pass. So basically I see a message on test skill screen to offer him to buy the game pass for 3 Robux. Alright, test skill is gonna decline because he's been telling me he is going broke and he doesn't have any money to spend, so he's declining the game pass. Now test skill has declined to buy the game pass. Now let's see what happened when you have the game pass in this game. I don't know what Brissan is doing to me. He's trying to draw my attention here. Let me say something to him so he knows what I'm doing. I'm in a tutorial. Anyway, so now I'm gonna go and show you what happened if I have the game pass, right? I'm gonna go to the skill brick here. Since I'm invincible now, I can walk over the skill brick and it does not kill me. But you see test skill decline the game pass, decline to buy the game. Oh, look at that! Brissan just touched the kill brick and he died. And same thing with test skill. So Brissan did not buy the game pass and that's why he died when he touches the kill brick. Now test skill is gonna go and touch the kill brick here and he should die as well. And there it is. Alright guys, so in our last tutorial we have learned how to create a game pass. In this tutorial we're gonna learn how to script the game passes in your games so you can make Robux from your games. Let's now go to Studio. Oh wow, another person joined in. Look at that. So now we have like 4 people. Oh boy. Alright, I gotta let this guy know I gotta go. Sorry guys. Gotta run. I'm in a tutorial. So as I'm doing the tutorial right now, a bunch of my friends just came in to join me, but I gotta run because I gotta finish this tutorial to show you guys how to make this game pass inside your game. That skill is saying that he does not have any money, he's broke. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let him create this game and then we're gonna buy the game pass from him. Thus we're donating Robux to Testskill to give him some Robux. Let us first check to see if Testskill is telling us the truth. So as you can see right here, this is a Testskill's profile and he does have 0 Robux, and that is why he cannot buy the game pass, because to buy the game pass you need 3 Robux. So again, we're gonna let Testskill create this game so that we can donate Robux to Testskill. So first you're gonna need to create the game passes. So on this screen you're gonna select the game that you want to create the game pass for. We're gonna click on this game right here and go to the left hand side menu bar here. We're gonna look for passes. Click on passes, on create a pass. Here you can upload an image for your game pass if you like, but it's not required. Next you can enter the name of the pass and the description of the pass. The name is required. We name this Invincibility Pass, and the description is gonna make you immune to kill bricks. Now go down a little bit and click on create pass. We have successfully created a game pass. Now we're gonna click on our game pass and we're gonna click on sales. We can set the item for sale, so we're gonna turn it on and we're gonna specify how much to sell this for. So I'm gonna sell this for 3 Robux. It's very cheap, so if anybody wanna help out Testskill, you can come in and buy a game pass from Testskill, and this way you'll be donating Robux to Testskill. From here we're just gonna click on save. Before I click on save, I just want to point out, even though we price it at 3 Robux per pass, Testskill is only gonna make 2 Robux because Roblox is gonna keep 30% of the total. And now let's click save changes and we're gonna go back to the item. So here you see this game has a game pass and it costs 3 Robux. If you like, you can click on these 3 dots and open a new tab. So now if you want people to donate Robux to you, you can copy this link here and send it to your friends to have your friends donate Robux to you. So I'm gonna copy this link and I'm gonna give it to PriceCP. try CP now. As soon as I click on the link, it takes me to this page and then inventory item. So I can click on buy here to buy this inventory item, this pass, for 3 Robux. It tells you that you can use this pass in this game right here, T001. I'm gonna buy it right here because I'm gonna buy it inside the game to show you how the script works. So we're gonna buy it later, but we're not gonna buy it right now. As you can see here, test skills still have 0 Robux. So now let's go to Studio and see how we can script this inside our game. Scripts involved. The first script has to do with offering the players to buy the game pass. And we put that inside this invincible potion pass bottle. Go to our bottle and we're gonna expand the bottle. You find the script inside the bottle. Let's take a look at the first script, which is inside the potion bottle. And in this script, we're offering the game pass to players who touches this bottle. So this bottle has a touch event. Whenever somebody touches this bottle, it's gonna offer that player a chance to buy a game pass from this game. How about we go over the script starting from the top? So here we have the part is script.parent, and here we're just declaring the marketplace service, the player service, and the game pass ID. So this is how you get the game pass ID. In the creation dashboard, the address is create.roblox.com/dashboard/creations. Or you can just go to the Creator Hub and click on Creations here to get to this page. Now on this page, we're gonna click on the game that we want to get the pass ID for, and we're gonna look for the passes for this game. So click on passes, and here's the pass. So click on the 3 dots here and copy asset ID. I'm gonna paste in that pass ID here. And here's our function. So whenever somebody touches this part, it's gonna call this function. First, we're gonna check for humanoid that is touching this part. If it is a player that touches this part, we're gonna get the player from the character. And if you're not familiar with any of the material that we have gone through so far, you can refer back to our prior tutorials because all of these were done prior to this tutorial. So we're getting the player, if it is a player. And here is the new material right here. If it is the player, we're gonna prompt the player with the game pass. The player, we're gonna use this API, prompt game pass purchase. This API has 2 parameters. The first parameter is the player. The second parameter is the game pass ID, which we have copied earlier and we place it here. So it shows the player a GUI with an opportunity for the player to buy the game pass. Script is inside the kill brick. So my kill brick is the red part right here. This red part right here. And inside that red part, there is a script. The first 4 lines here are the same as our previous script, so we don't need to go over that. Here is a touch event. When somebody touches this brick, we're checking for humanoid, checking for the player. If it is a player, we're gonna check to see if this player owns a game pass, the invincibility game pass. So this is where we're checking to see if the player owns this game pass by passing in the player user ID and the ID of the game pass. That reminds me, I need to update this game pass ID here. So I'm gonna go back over here. This is the ID that we have copied earlier. I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it into here. All right, so we're checking to see if the player owns this game pass. If the player does not own this game pass, the player is gonna die. We're gonna kill the player. On the other hand, if the player owns the game pass, then we're not gonna execute this, and the player is not gonna die. The player is free to touch this part if he or she owns the game pass. And that is all there is to it. Let's now play test and take a look. Alright, so that is all that we needed to do. So now I'm inside of test skills game here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and hit the brick right now, the kill brick, without buying a game pass. And you can see it killed me immediately. Now next, let's see if test skill can go and buy a game pass. So test skill here is gonna run and see if he can buy a game pass for this game. Touches the bottle. And error. you already own this item. Your account has not been charged. Because alright, so test skill is the owner of that game pass, which means he can now go and touch this kill brick and he should be fine. Let's take a look. Here he is, touches the kill brick and he's fine. On the other hand, I can show you again, if I touch that kill brick, it killed me. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy a game pass. So I'm gonna go and get this potion bottle here. As soon as I touched the potion bottle, it prompted me to buy an item. Would you like to buy invincibility pass for 3 Robux? So I can say cancel here if I don't want to buy the game pass, or I can say yes, I want to buy the game pass, right? So currently I have 260 Robux. If I buy this for 3 Robux, I'm only gonna have 257 Robux left. So now I'm gonna buy the game pass. I'm gonna donate 2 Robux to test skills, and I'm gonna donate 1 Robux to Roblox. Let's do it. Your purchase of invincibility pass succeeded. Successful. Yay. So now let me see if I can go and touch this brick. Look, I'm standing on top of the brick and I'm okay. For 3 Robux, I'm invincible. So guys, if you want to donate to test skill, come by to this game and buy the game pass. And that is how you earn Robux with game passes in your Roblox games. Now before we end today's tutorial, I just want to check out one more thing. To test skills profile and see if he got 2 Robux. Let's take a look. What? Check that out. He got 8.3 million Robux. That was fast. That's all for today. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care everyone. Peace.